Welcome back to more Let's Play The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. Last time, we explored Zora's domain, learned that the Princess Ruto was missing, and we promptly came to Lake Hylia after learning how to dive deeper, found a letter of her missing, and then went fishing. After all that, we taught a Scarecrow a nice song that he'll remember for us later. Otherwise, while we're in the area, I want to come out here to where you would normally enter Lake Hylia. Ordinarily, you don't really come here right now. Also, Kapora Gabora's here. Beyond this point lies Lake Hylia. It is full of deep, pure water. The Zoras, who live all the way upstream, guard the sunken temple at the lake's bottom, as well as Zora's fountain. If you want to confirm its location on the map, press start to switch to the sub-screens and see your R to find the map. All the places you have visited will be shown on the map. Hoo hoo hoot! Do you want to hear what I said again? No. Okay, be careful and go. So, yeah. Some more tutorials. Now, I want to say that right here, if we had the Stone of Agony, aka the Rumble Pack equipped, there's another little secret. And I want to say, yes, there's a merchant scrub. Hey there. All right, you win. In return for sparing me, I will sell you a piece of a heart. One piece for 10 rupees it is. That is one of the best deals in the game. Thank you very much. And we get another piece of heart. We've collected 3 pieces. With one more, we'll have another heart container. Very useful. And I figured while we were here, may as well grab it. And speaking of, there's actually 2 other pieces of heart we could have gotten, technically, as soon as we started the game, more or less. In order to get those, we need to come over here to the west where we've never been. This will lead us to an area called Ruto Valley, which is basically the desert sand area of the game, but we never really had a reason to come over here. So I didn't want to just beeline it here to get 2 pieces of heart earlier in the game when we, naturally wouldn't really come here. So I figured once we left Lake Hylia there, got that piece of heart, we could come this way and get the other 2, as well as some of the sculptulas that are here. Now, there isn't going to be a ton that we can do here right now, but I figured it would help us before we go back to Zora's domain. And what's this? Ruto Valley. Thank you, Mr. Sign. So, let's see what lies beyond the canyons and the cliffs. In Ruto Valley, with one of the best songs in the game. People love this song, and man, I am right there with them. It is so darn good. And unfortunately, it is now nighttime. But try as you might to come over here, you'll be stopped. The Gerudo's fortress is located beyond this gate. A kid like you has no business there. So yeah, you'll just get shooed away, and that's basically all there is to it. Now you might notice though, there's a nice little Cucco here. There's also, over there, a Skulltula. I don't believe we can get him yet, but in due time, Now the one we can get though, I believe, is in a dirt mound that is, I want to say, down there somewhere. Now the idea is you're supposed to take the Cucco here and fly down. I want to say we want to go over this way first for this box. Now, as you can see, there's a giant valley of water. That water is going to lead us back to Lake Hylia, but While we're here, may as well grab another piece of heart and get a heart container. Now, unfortunately, because we came here first, our Kuko will fly away. So, all that's left for it is basically jump down into the water, end up at Lake Hylia, and, well, I'm gonna end up meeting you back here. So, I'll be right back. Link, wait up, buddy. Hoo-hoo! Head south from here to reach Lake Hylia's full, rich waters. If you go west, you'll find Gerudo Valley. There's a hideout of a gang of thieves on the other side of the valley. Well, you're free to go anywhere you want. Ho 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 hoo! Do you want to hear what I said again? No, Kapora. No matter how hard it is, just don't get discouraged. Ho ho hoo! So, yeah, that was another thing that I missed somehow coming here the first time, is that Kapora Gabora is sitting in that tree and will tell you that Gerudo Valley is this way. They honestly put him in so many locations that, frankly, I wouldn't be surprised if there's a couple even I've missed. So, I figured that would be a pretty good time to show him on the return journey, so that way it wasn't just, oh, I'm here, then back again. Still, does make me wonder how I missed him the first time, but, semantics, I suppose. Still, we found him all the same. Now, here we are, getting to hear some darn good music again. Now, I want to say, you want to take this Kuko, and I think the Skulltula is actually over there somewhere, but I might be wrong. It's been a little minute since I've done this one. So I guess let's jump here for a sec. I want to say he's actually up there by that box, but maybe I'm wrong. It's been a while since I've gotten this one, though, for now... Oh, wait, no, he's down here on this bank, I believe. Still, for now, let's use this Kuko to go toward this giant waterfall. And although it's hard to see, we want to start slowly going toward the wall, but not hitting the water, like so. And there's a hidden little cave here with another piece of heart. Pretty darn sneaky, huh? Otherwise, come here, Mr. Kuko. Excuse me, can I please pick you up? Thank you. And now, if we fly over here, the Skulltula I'm thinking about, I believe, is actually down here along this coast. Like I said, I don't get this one super often in most of my playthroughs just because I generally only get 50 of them and call it good. So I always forget this one's here. I want to say that Gerudo there will let you buy milk, though we can just get it for free if we go up Death Mountain. So I'm not terribly worried about it. Still, I suppose if you need healing in a pinch, may as well. Beautiful. And then one thing too, and I don't know why I thought of this now, but I actually missed a Skulltula on the first visit to Lon Lon Ranch that we did. I got the one on the back of the barn, but there's another one, or I say barn, the back of the horse stable. But there is another one that was in a tree we could have gotten, but I figured I'll grab that one later, once we come back anyways, so not a huge deal. Otherwise, with that taking us directly back to Lake Hylia, we can swim back to where we came from the first time, and return to Zora's domain pretty easy. Speaking of, how's it going? I am Zora. Have you seen a pretty Zora girl around here? I can't say I have. Sorry, pal. I imagine he's supposed to be complimenting and looking for Ruto all at the same time. But, hey, who knows? Maybe he is just hunting for chicks. I don't know. Still, with Ruto's letter in tow, we'll return to Zora's domain. And, look, although she did ask very nicely for us not to show her father, I mean, come on. We're going to show her father. Because frankly, he seems a bit beside himself. So, maybe with the knowledge that I have her letter, he'll, move out the way? Besides, I think it even mentioned that she's, stuck somewhere. Let's take a look, just for old time's sake. Yes, we know there's a letter. Ah, yes, I'm waiting for you inside Lord Jabu Jabu's belly, who is past her father. So, hopefully he'll be convinced that if we found the letter, we can go save her from inside Jabu Jabu's belly. Hopefully. I mean, look, I know it's a long shot, but, it's worth a try. So, hey there, your kingliness. I found a letter from your daughter.
Oh, this letter. It's from Princess Ruto. Let's see. She's inside Lord Jabu Jabu? That's not possible. Our guardian god, Lord Jabu Jabu, would never eat my dear Princess Ruto. But since that stranger, Ganondorf, came here, Lord Jabu Jabu has been a little green around the gills. The evidence seems clear. Of course, you'll go find Ruto. You can pass through here to the altar of Lord Jabu Jabu. I'll keep this letter. You keep the bottle it was in. Take it respectfully. Please find my dear Princess Ruto immediately. Zora.
In my right mind, I could not interrupt that cutscene. And it is a little weird that he says Zora like a catchphrase when he should have said
Mweep.
But, thank you, King Zora. I'm sure your later incarnations will, not disappoint. So, anyways, now that we're past King Zora, let's go see this Lord Jabu Jabu. Zora's Fountain. And, yeah, that's a pretty big fish, ain't it? So, now that we're here at Zora's Fountain, the actual big thing to do is to go into Lord Jabu Jabu. However, there are actually a Skulltula out here. I was going to say there's a few, but, well, there's just one. So, we need to go past Lord Jabu Jabu here. And I believe it's on this little island over here that's not even visible when you first enter. Navi, what is it? It seems Princess Ruto somehow got inside Jabu Jabu's belly. Yes. Thank you, Navi. We appreciate you trying to help, but, sweetheart, please, well, you're doing great. Still, I believe in this tree, there's a Skulltula. I tell you, they get trickier and trickier with these little buggers every time we find one. Still, now that we've gotten our nice little Skulltula, we can head back to Jabu Jabu. And I mean, to be fair, he doesn't actually seem all that big. He's kind of just like the size of a whale. I mean, okay, maybe he's a little bigger than that, but I mean, he's not that massive, all things considered. You'll understand why I'm bringing up his size in a minute. But, speaking of, how do we even get out of here? Jabu Jabu, I tell you, you're quite the big guy, so, excuse me while I dive under you. Come on. Excuse me, Foundation. There we go. And now, there's this little sign here. What's it say? Zora's Fountain. Don't disturb Lord Jabu Jabu. King Zora, and then I believe that is the, the 16th? Interesting. So, in order to get inside Lord Jabu Jabu's belly, you need to feed him. This is why we grabbed that fish all that time ago. Huh. Well, okay. Talk about the entrance to a dungeon. Inside Jabu Jabu's belly. The next massive dungeon. So already, his belly feels like it is incredibly larger. I mean, heck, just his mouth feels like it is bigger than anything we saw. Otherwise, we have a new enemy that I could have identified earlier. Octorok, bounce back the rocks they spit at you. These are a very classic Zelda enemy, and frankly, I wanted to show them off inside Jabu Jabu, just because I feel like they're quite at home here. Still, here we have this little uvula thing. If you shoot it, it opens a door. Pretty straightforward. We also have these bubbles. Shabam, if you try to cut it, it will bounce off your blade. So, yeah. Interestingly, the shaboms, or as everyone else probably called them, the bubbles, are an interesting enemy. We also have another new enemy. Ibiri, if you touch it, you will be electrocuted. Or again, as everyone probably called these things, the jellyfish. Now notably, you cannot fight them, so there's nothing to do other than run. There's also some crates inside Lord Jabu Jabu. Look, your guess is as good as mine for how these got here, but they at least usually have a heart in them. So, pretty useful. Otherwise, I guess for the giggles, let's get our Deku sticks, seeing as we're in a prime fighting location. And, ooh, there's a whole lot going on here. Huh? You, who are you? I am Ruto, Princess of the Zoras. What? Are you saying my father asked you to come here to save me? I'd never ask anyone to do such a thing. A letter in a bottle? I have no idea what you're talking about. My father is worried about me? I don't care. Anyway, I can't go home right now, and you get out of here, understand? Oh no! Right. So, as fun as this Geary is, let's actually ignore her for the time being and see what's in here. Well, it's yet another new enemy. The tail Passaran. Its tail is its weak point. I'm gonna be honest, I struggle to read that every single time I ever see it. So yeah, these things are not fun to look at. Admittedly, we really can't fight them, nor can we do anything here right now. So, let's just be on our way and keep moving, shall we? Ooh! And wouldn't you know, it's another new enemy. Bari, if you touch it, you will be electrocuted. So, yeah. As of right now, Jabu Jabu is filled with all sorts of danger. So, hey there, Ruto. Are you still hanging around here? I told you to go away. I'm okay. I've been going inside Lord Jabu Jabu's belly since I was little, but Lord Jabu Jabu is very strange today. There are electrified jellyfish in strange holes around. On top of that, my precious stone was... But that's none of your business. Anyway, you, go home now, understand? Precious stone, you say? Also, I find it funny how even she calls them jellyfish. You're that worried about me? Then I will give you the honor of carrying me. However, I won't leave until I find the thing I'm looking for. You'd better believe me. Welcome to your major mechanic of the dungeon. You get to carry Ruto throughout the majority of it. This makes for an interesting mechanic. Should you leave her behind, she will, well, despawn and end up in that room again. So be sure not to leave her. Interestingly, you can also throw her as a weapon, which is kind of hilarious. Also, that makes me wonder, Navi, what do you need to say so badly? Or are you not going to say it now? That's just like you. So this whole dungeon is filled with all sorts of just odd puzzles that involve using Ruto. And here is another new enemy. A stinger. Destroy it before it flies into you. These things are quite interesting. If I can untarget. Now before we deal with anything down there, we need to take Ruto and throw her up there. There's also this switch here, which is going to flood this room. Admittedly, these things always terrified me when I was a kid. And I don't know why. They're kind of just little, like, stingray birds. So, I don't know. Also, step on the switch. Fill in the water. Now, if Ruto is in that water, we'll get a gold Skulltula token. No. If Ruto happens to be in that water when you fill it, she will return to the room that you initially found her in. Not the one up top, but the one below. So, you need to make sure that you're being careful with where she is. If you don't bring her into the room with you, generally speaking, or if she gets sure, if she gets stuck in water, then she'll end up going back to that room. So if you ever happen to lose her or leave her behind, there's a pretty easy place to get her. Otherwise, come on, Ruto. Let's keep moving. And, yeah. I gotta admit, this place is kind of disgusting. It's a really cool idea for a dungeon, having it be inside a living organism.
But man, is it kind of gross.
So, yeah. Now, luckily, Ruto is basically completely invulnerable to damage. So, you really don't gotta worry about her all that much. So, not only is she a bit annoying to carry around, she's invulnerable to damage, and you can throw her into enemies to deal some damage. So, ow. She's not all that bad. There's certainly been... Really? I tried to not climb up. Link, buddy. Let him shoot. There we go. And then climb. Talk about an obnoxious Deku scrub. What do you sell? I surrender. In return, I will sell you Deku nuts. Yeah, that's a terrible deal. Yikes, I'm going home then. Please do. So, yeah. An annoying business scrub who sells you nothing of value. Anyways, as we can see, there's really not much here for us. Except for this floating platform that randomly descends and ascends. If you didn't spend time in here, then you may not know that this thing even shows up. So, I don't blame you if you get lost in here. And wouldn't you know, it brings you back here to the central room where you first entered. So now that we have Ruto in tow, we can take her beyond all of these gross, I don't even know what you'd call them. Pores? Stomachs? I have no idea. But point is, you can take her beyond them and go into this room. Now, the nice thing about Ruto being invulnerable and the fact that you can use her as a weapon is that you can use her to defeat enemies you normally couldn't. It's a bit of a strange use for her, but it works. Also, she makes a funny little noise when you throw her that I have always enjoyed. Navi, Watch out, Link. Electricity is running through this red slimy thing. Thank you, Navi.
I'm about to get electrocuted anyways.
So yeah, this place is a bit dangerous, and if you notice, the floor is actively moving you toward things, so you have to be a bit careful here. Otherwise... This switch, it doesn't look like you can press it down with your weight alone, Link. Well, luckily, we have Ruto. And with the switch pressed down, let's enter the room. Now, frankly, I like to put her down because we've got a whole bunch of enemies here to fight. I think it's only like 4, so it's not too bad, but it is more than 1. Come on, there we go. Again, I just never liked these darn things. At least as a kid. Nowadays, they don't really bother me, but I don't know. For some reason, on that low-resolution CRT, not being able to make these guys out properly, it just scared me like nothing else. So, like, I don't know. Anyways, they're actually incredibly easy. So, maybe I was just scared because they pop out like that? I really couldn't tell ya. Still, what's in the box? The almighty boomerang. One of the most classic Zelda items. You found the boomerang. On the select item subscreen, you can set it to left, down, or right. Press C to use it to attack distant enemies. This is the item I have been waiting to get. Because man, oh man, is it awesome. When you pull it out, Link will go in this, letterboxed stance. And basically, use the center of the back of his hat there, or really his head, to aim. He'll throw it, and then it'll come back. This also retrieves items that you throw it at. This is how we get all of those Skulltulas we've been seeing. So now that we have it, we can effectively deal with a lot of things. Because not only is it useful for getting items, it counts as a weapon. See? This is just one of my all-time favorite items in Zelda, let alone this game. In almost every game it's in, I feel like this thing is so darn useful. Especially later games like Twilight Princess. Man, is that probably my favorite iteration of the boomerang. And sure, it may not always work first try, but the nice thing is that it's infinite. You never run out of being able to use the boomerang, unlike, say, the slingshot or bombs. It's infinitely usable, which I think adds to its versatility. I love the boomerang so much. And with it, we can now deal with all of the enemies here, including these guys and the jellyfish, as Ruto so boldly put it. Although we know that they're not called that. Here's one of the very rare instances where you need to leave Ruto behind. The switch here will unpress, so you actually need to drop Ruto on top of it in order to keep it pressed down. Now don't worry, she's not going to despawn because of that, so you can leave her there pretty safely. And, what the heck is this? Navi? A parasitic tentacle? It seems that the narrow part is its weak point. You need a particular item to destroy it. So yeah, if you don't have the boomerang, you can't fight this thing. But with it, you're good to go. So generally, if you see an enemy that is ever, say, electric or resistant to other ranged weapons that you can't hit with your sword, the boomerang is usually your go-to solution. Man, it is so good to have this thing. Oh, I love the boomerang. But I love treasure just as much. Let's see what's in the box. Why, it's the map! Extremely useful. Now I'll tell ya, Lord Jabu Jabu isn't all that complicated, all things considered. He's no walk in the park for sure if you're not really great at dungeon delving, but he's not all that bad. Hi, Ruto.
How inconsiderate. How could you leave me behind? If you're a man, act like one. Take responsibility.
Right. Well, come on, princess. Let's get moving. So now that we've dealt with that slimy parasitic tentacle, the big red slimy thing that I believe was over this way should be gone. See how the dungeon's gonna work? 3 different pathways.
The red slimy thing is gone. That must be because you cut the red tail. Will that work with the other ones too?
Well, Navi, that's what I was just explaining. With each tentacle you destroy, you unlock a new area. They're all pretty much right here, though, so don't think too hard about it.
Parasitic tentacle?
So yeah, although this one looks different, it's not different at all. Just deal with it how you dealt with the last one, and you should be good to go. The boomerang, although it can be free-aimed, is generally a lot better used walking around normally. So, I say walking around normally, it's a lot better when you're locked on. Though something you can do is if you hold Z target and pull it out, you actually get a way to move left and right and angle it up and down. So, you can use that to help you aim with it. Otherwise, with that tentacle down, let's grab our dear Princess Ruto and keep looking around here. We just got rid of the blue one. At least it looked kind of blue. And let's see. Got rid of here. Very nice. Let's see what's inside. Why, it's a giant green tentacle, as well as many jellyfish. So yeah, with the boomerang, you can take them out, no problem. No more throwing Ruto at them. Though to be fair, it was throwing her at the jellyfish for a moment. There we go. Get rid of this big green parasitic tentacle. At least it looks kind of green because the room is more green. So, beautiful. And now that that is out of our way, we should be able to pick up Princess Ruto and continue on our merry way. So yeah, although it seems like this would be like the big thing of the dungeon, like come back here every time after you defeat a tentacle, no, they're just all right here, which to be honest, I can respect them for doing that. Oh, and here's a fun room. You have 40 seconds to destroy all of the bubbles, or the, whatever they called them. I kind of forget, admittedly. And admittedly, this room is a little annoying with Navi constantly, screaming at you the whole time. So yes, Navi, we hear you. It's okay. Beautiful. Nothing we can't handle. And, thank goodness Navi is done screaming hey at us. Oh, and I see some parts. Beautiful. And, oh, we actually did get them all. Very nice. What's even nicer is whatever's in this box. Come on, baby. I mean, come on. You should have known it was the compass. It was the only thing we were missing. Still, now we can see all those juicy hidden items. And as you can see, there's not too much left to explore. Seems like a pretty short dungeon, huh? Still, although we've made some pretty darn good progress in Lord Jabu Jabu's belly, I think next time we play The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, we'll finish it up with dear Princess Ruto here. As always, I'm Brad. Thanks for watching, and have a good one.
Week.